Wonder Man ending explained. What is the DODC's future in the MCU? Warning: this article contains major spoilers for Wonder Man Episode 8. Wonder Man's entire season dropped all at once on Disney, and while it resolves the core narrative of the series, there are a few questions raised in the finale. Simon Williams hasn't had an easy life by any means. Despite having remarkable powers that many would be envious of, his dreams led him in a very different direction. As the star of the hotly anticipated superhero reboot, Wonder Man Williams' fame is set to skyrocket around Hollywood and beyond, but there is also a tinge of sadness as the hero looks back on the events that led up to this success and the unlikely friendship formed with the incredibly controversial Trevor Slattery. Of course, this leads to some interesting developments in the season finale that almost certainly ensure Simon Williams will have more to come in the MCU. But before any of that comes to pass, there are some important things to get squared up. Simon Williams had a profound fear of his abilities from his early childhood, and on to the point when we first meet him in Wonder Man. As was revealed partway through the series, Hollywood is not very welcoming to those with supernatural abilities, and Simon's dreams could have been dashed before they began if anyone found out his secret. However, after his big break as Wonder Man, he appears to be more willing to embrace the side of him that he has been so careful to keep hidden throughout his life. Whether that is partly because of his newfound financial freedom or feeling as though he has achieved his dreams, Simon is willing to risk everything to rescue his dear friend Trevor Slattery. Under the guise of studying for a new role, Simon begins shadowing an average middle American man who, as it turns out, works for the Department of Damage Control, aka the DODC. This is part of an elaborate plan on Simon's part to free Trevor from a high-security DODC prison, where he reveals for the first time that in addition to his other powers, he can fly. And the DODC prison positions the DODC as a major antagonist in upcoming events, especially with them already confirmed to be returning again in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Simon Williams may hope that his identity can remain somewhat hidden, but he took on a huge personal risk to free Trevor, and there are several people who now know his secret, meaning his whole life could be turned upside down. But at least he has been reunited with his friend, and Trevor is no longer being forced to pay for crimes he didn't commit. Trevor has once again presented himself as a menacing terrorist to the entire world, while also claiming to have blown up a film lot. However, Trevor does have friends in Talo who may be willing to take him and Simon Williams in. If that is the case, it immediately provides a link between these characters and Shang-Chi, setting up a path for them to reappear in the future. Wonder Man does not definitively suggest that Simon Williams will return by including a post-credits scene, but there is a path for this hero to join with the rest of Earth's mightiest and face off against a threat like Doctor Doom. As highlighted above, Simon now has a link to Shang-Chi through Trevor, which could lead to him joining Sam Wilson's Avengers. However, if Simon somehow manages to maintain his double life as a Hollywood star, he may be busy with other ventures and continue to avoid using his powers when danger arrives. With that in mind, it's not exactly clear if Wonder Man will be back for Avengers Doomsday or not. While there hasn't been any firm confirmation about Wonder Man Season 2, Marvel Television head Brad Winderbaum has confirmed that there is a possibility for this series to continue, especially due to its status as a Marvel Spotlight show, which is essentially slightly less central and connected to the world of the MCU. It appears that Marvel Studios is waiting to see how fans engage with each project and then open to continuing the series if the conditions are right. With that in mind, and the fact that Wonder Man has already gotten a 92 approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, there could be a strong possibility for the show to continue. In Marvel Comics, Wonder Man is often associated with the West Coast Avengers. This is essentially another branch of superheroes who are primarily located in the Western United States. Wonder Man does not explicitly do anything to set up the West Coast Avengers, but it's worth noting that this is the fourth hero to come out of California in the MCU. First, Scott Lang's Ant-Man was based in San Francisco and played a prominent role in the Infinity Saga. Second, likewise, Shang-Chi lives in San Francisco, though he arrives later in the Multiverse Saga. Most recently, before Simon Williams, Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, caters to clients around the LA area. There is certainly enough talent on the West Coast to get a superhero team together, but whether that plays out remains to be seen. Regardless, Wonder Man sets up a powerful new hero in the MCU.